Yes, students, a very good morning and welcome to the class. Today we are going to revise this chapter, that is the landscape of the soul. Okay, it's chapter number 4 from your book Hornbill, Landscape of the Soul, and it's a very wonderful chapter, we can say. It depicts the contrast between two forms of arts. One is the Chinese and one is the European. And he explains us these wonderful tales with the help of what? With the help of wonderful stories. तो स्टोरीज और लेजेंड्स के थ्रू जब आप चीज को समझते हो तो यू टेक इट विद यू फॉर एवर, हमेशा आपको वो चीज याद रहती है and generation to generation you pass on that, keep on passing that information to the coming generations. So it is said that in China during the 8th century the Tang emperor Xuanzong जो थे उन्होंने एक Liu Dezhou को लेकर के आए, वो just to do a painting for him, just to make a masterpiece art, a painting for him and to decorate a wall in the palace. And upon seeing the wall painting, emperor ने notice किया that the outer appearance of the painting, but the painter drew his attention to the cave. अब जो हमारे emperor थे, जब उनको painting देखने के लिए बुलाया गया, he just looked at the outer view of the painting, but उस outer view को जब वो देख रहे थे तो what happened? The painter drew his attention and he said that sir, ये नहीं, आप क्या देखो, आप देखो इसके अंदर एक केव बनाई है मैंने and it's an amazing cave. And just as the painter entered the cave, the entrance door closed behind him, and as soon as the painter clapped his hand, the painting on the wall was gone, and so was the painter, and he was never seen again. In the other story, we see that there is a painter and he drew an eye of a dragon. उसने मना कर दिया that he is not going to draw the eye of a dragon. Why? He says he is afraid of this dragon. If the dragon would see him, he would fly out of the painting and he is going to eat him up. Then in the other story, there's European art form, and again there is a master blacksmith who falls in love with the painter's daughter. एक पेंटर की डॉटर से उनको प्यार हो जाता है and he is a blacksmith. Now a painter is never going to accept a blacksmith as his son-in-law, and he is trying to say and he's trying to convey him that my father is going to say yes for our marriage just if he gets a painter as a son-in-law, or rather वो उनको एक blacksmith तो acceptable नहीं होगा. So at that time जो blacksmith थे, he just went to a studio in order to learn how to paint. Sitting there, he did what? उन्होंने एक brush उठाया and he on a in a painting studio there was an easel lying, and on the easel there was a canvas, and on that canvas he painted a fly on the latest panel. जो latest panel वहां पे लगा हुआ था उन्होंने एक fly, मक्खी जिसको बोलते हैं, वो बना दी. And the fly seemed so real that when the painter entered the studio, he just hit it. He just hit the fly in order कि उसको वहां से हटाना चाहते थे. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने उसको and then he realized that this is a painting, and painter accepted him as a trainee in his studio, and the blacksmith finally married the painter's daughter and later became one of the famous painters of his time. और बाद में वो one of the famous painters बन गए अपने समय के. His painting was so good, his painting was so great. ये दोनों स्टोरीज जो हैं ये रिवील करती हैं एज टू हाउ द आर्ट फॉर्म इज बिलीव टू बी फॉलोड इन 2 डिफरेंट रीजन्स इन द वर्ल्ड. इन यूरोप आर्टिस्ट जो होते हैं ना वांट्स द व्यूअर टू सी अ रियल व्यू पॉइंट बाय बोरोइंग हिज आईज. कहाँ पे? यूरोपियन पेंटिंग्स के लिए यू हैव टू बोरो द पेंटर्स आई एंड उसको फिर आपको उस नजर से ही, उस व्यू पॉइंट से ही आपको उसको देखना होता है. The art must be perfect and must be the illusion likeness. Whereas in China, जो artist होते हैं doesn't paint a real one, but uses his inner and spiritual voice to create an abstract piece. अब जो चाइना वाली जो पेंटिंग्स है ना, उसको ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए, उसको समझने के लिए you just don't need to have a good look. To look at, आपको एक अच्छी नजर से उसको देखना, या आप बोलोगे कि आप सिर्फ उसको ऑन लुक कर लो और उसको समझ लो, ऐसा नहीं होता है. बल्कि इसके अंदर क्या होता है, whereas in China जो आर्टिस्ट होते हैं ना doesn't paint a real one but uses his inner spiritual voice to create an abstract piece. Abstract means उसको समझना पड़ता है, आप उसको ना छू सकते हो ना देख सकते हो. The viewer can enter the painting from any point and can travel according to his own imagination. अब viewer जो थे He can enter the painting, वो पेंटिंग एंटर कर सकते थे फ्रॉम एनी पॉइंट, किसी भी पॉइंट से, एंड कैन रिवील एंड कैन ट्रेवल अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज ओन इमेजिनेशन। आप पेंटिंग में किसी भी पॉइंट से एंटर हो जाओ, अपनी इमेजिनेशन, अपनी सोच के अकॉर्डिंग आप उस पर ट्रेवल कर लो, आपको उसके जो मीनिंग निकालना है, जो थॉट निकालना है, आप निकाल सकते हो। और यूरोपियन पेंटिंग्स में क्या होता है, जैसे एक प्रॉपर सीनरी है, वो जो है आपको मीनिंग दिखाई देगा, आप उसको देखोगे एंड यू आर गोइंग टू से वाओ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल, वेरी ब्राइटली कलर्ड, डिपिक्टिंग अ नाइस थीम और अ नाइस मैसेज। बट चाइनीज पेंटिंग में यू कैन एंटर द पेंटिंग विच एवर वे यू वॉन्ट टू, आप किसी भी वे से उसमें एंटर हो जाओ एंड यू कैन कैरी ऑन। The artist wants the viewer to enter his mind and create a path of its own. Chinese artist चाहते हैं कि जो व्यूअर होता है वो अपनी वे से उस पेंटिंग में एंटर हो एंड देन फर्दर अपनी ही इमेजिनेशन के अकॉर्डिंग उसकी पेंटिंग को वो कैरी करे। ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है इसे हम बोलते हैं सैनशुई। सैनशुई का मतलब होता है माउंटेन वाटर। ओके, व्हेन दे आर यूज्ड टुगेदर दे मेक द वर्ल्ड लैंडस्केप। जब माउंटेन और वाटर को हम साथ यूज कर देते हैं ना, तो वो क्या बना देता है, लैंडस्केप। और इसीलिए हम ये बोलते हैं द लैंडस्केप ऑफ द सोल। ओके, नाउ सो अंडरस्टूड, दिस इज अ वेरी नाइस अमेजिंग chapter. So just let me know that have you understood the conceptualization of this, so that हम उसको आगे फिर further start करते हैं पढ़ना। Yes. Okay, so now we are going to start it line by line. That is the text हम read करते हैं, ठीक है? We'll do it in a revision form, but ठीक है, text है, हमें उसको करना है। A wonderful old tale is told about the painter Wu Dezoy, who lived in the 8th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned by the Tang Emperor Xuanzong to decorate a palace wall. The master had hidden his work behind a screen, so only emperor would see it. For a long while, the emperor admired the wonderful scene, discovering the forest, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds floating in an immense sky, men on a hilly path, birds in the flight. Look, sire, said the painter, in this cave at the foot of the mountain dwells a spirit. The painter clapped his hand and the entrance to the cave opened. The inside is splendid, beyond anything words can convey. Please let me show your majesty the way. The painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him. And before the astonished emperor could move or utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. Not a trace of Wu Dezoy's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in this painting. So the first जो story हम इसको समझने के लिए जो हमें दी गई है वो ये है that in 8th century की बात है। व्यू डेजॉय एक पेंटर थे, he was a wonderful painter and he was given a work, he was assigned a work to decorate a palace wall by the emperor whose name was Tang Emperor Xuanzong. Master had hidden his work behind the screen so that कि first time इसको कौन देखेगा, only the emperor would see it. For a long while, emperor ने admire किया इस wonderful scene को, discover किया उन्होंने forest, mountains and waterfalls, उन्होंने बहुत कुछ देखा इसके अंदर, ठीक है? waterfalls and rather than the painter ने clap किए अपने hands। अब इन सब चीजों को जब उन्होंने देखा, then the painter said, now when the emperor said that everything looks sire, everything is looking amazingly beautiful, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है सब कुछ, तो उन्होंने क्या बोला, he says that yes, but still you haven't seen the cave, and the cave is what, cave at the foot of the mountain, there dwells a spirit, and he just clapped his hand और जैसे ही cave का door open हुआ, the inside of the cave was splendid and beyond anything the words can convey. Please, उन्होंने बोला let me show the majesty the way and I'll show you the cave. Now the painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him, but entrance उनके पीछे पीछे बंद. And before the astonished emperor could move or utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. उसने clap किया, door खुला. He, as soon as they entered, the door behind the painter closed, and as soon as he clapped, the painting on the wall also vanished. No trace of Wu Dezoy's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in this cave. And the artist was never seen in this world again. कभी भी उसके बाद में artist वहाँ पे दोबारा नहीं दिखा. So it's a very mysterious, we can say, a tale that is famous regarding this painting कि पेंटर अपनी ही पेंटिंग में लॉस्ट हो गया. What a kind of painting it was, that painter was lost in its painting. Such stories play an important part in China's classical education. Yes. So it was an amazing story that is famous regarding the Chinese painting. So such stories play an important part in China's classical education. Books of Confucius and Zhang Hui are full of them, and they help the masters to guide his disciple in the right direction. Beyond the anecdote, they are deeply revealing the spirit in which the art was considered. Now, ये जो stories है, ये Chinese classical education के अंदर बहुत important role play करती हैं. कॉन्फ्यूशियस जो थे, द बुक थी उनकी और जुएंगजी की जो थी, ये फुल ऑफ दीज काइंड ऑफ स्टोरीज है, जिससे कि आपको ये क्लासिकल एजुकेशन बहुत अच्छे से मिलता है. कहीं ना कहीं ये हेल्प करती हैं द मास्टर जस्ट टू गाइड हिज डिसाइपल इन द राइट डायरेक्शन. बियॉन्ड दिस एनेक्डोट्स, एक डीपली क्या है, रिवील करते हैं द स्पिरिट इन विच द आर्ट वाज कंसीडर्ड. Now contrast to this story, एक और famous one है about a painter जिसने क्या किया, who wouldn't draw an eye of a dragon. He had painted for fear it would fly out of the painting, with an old story from my native Flanders that I find most representative of the Western painting. Now Western painting की ये बहुत ही famous एक story है, that there was a painter who was very famous painter. He just didn't draw the eye of the dragon, just for the fear that the dragon would fly out of the painting. ठीक है. And now with this old story from my native Flanders, he says that I find most representative of the Western painting. In 15th century Antwerp, a master blacksmith called Quentin Metzges fell in love with the painter's daughter. The father would not accept a son-in-law in such a profession. So Quentin sneaked into the painter's studio and fly on the latest panel. Now another story, it's about Antwerp. ठीक है. एक master blacksmith जिनका नाम था Quentin Metzges, he fell in love with painter's daughter. Father is not going to accept a son-in-law in such a profession, that is of a blacksmith. So Quentin did what? He sneaked into the painter's studio. वो painter के studio में गए. And he just painted a fly on his latest panel. Latest panel पे उन्होंने एक fly, मक्खी draw कर दी. With such a delicate realism, इतनी real लग रही थी that the master tried to swat it before he realized what had happened. That it was so real कि जो master थे ना, he just tried to swat it away. उन्होंने उसको उड़ाने की कोशिश की वहां से. इससे पहले कि वो ये realize करते that what had happened, actually ये क्या था, ये real नहीं थी, it was a painting. Quentin was immediately admitted as an apprentice. Quentin को immediately as an apprentice उनको क्या कर लिया गया, admit कर लिया गया in the studio, and he married his beloved and went on to become one of the most famous painter of his age. And slowly he did what? वो अपनी art में perfect होते गए. He married his beloved and very sooner he became one of the famous painters of his age. ये जो दो stories है, ये illustrate करती हैं what each form of art is trying to achieve. A perfect illusionistic likeness in Europe and a sense of inner life and spirit in Asia. So अगर हम यूरोपियन पेंटिंग की बात कर रहे हैं, तो it's saying that it has an illusionistic likeness. And if we talk of Asia, it says that it has the inner life and spirit in the painting. In the Chinese story, the emperor जो थे, उन्होंने commission किया a painting and he appreciates its outer appearance. But artist reveals to him the true meaning of his work क्या है. It's not just the outer appearance, it is something inner, hidden inside. The emperor may rule over the territory he has conquered, but only the artist knows the way with it. Now he says कि सर ये तो वही बात हो गई कि एक emperor है जिसने क्या किया है, एक war में fight करके जीत के उन्होंने क्या किया है. He has just done what? उन्होंने achieve किया है what? A territory. and he can rule that territory very nicely. वो उस territory को बहुत आसानी से rule कर सकते हैं. But what lies within the artist only knows the way within it. तो इसी तरह से onlookers can just appreciate the painting, looking at it, उसको देख के हम appreciate कर सकते हैं. We can just say कि आप painting बहुत सुंदर है, बहुत beautiful colors है, the look is very beautiful. But only and only the artist is the one who can just have a way with it, who can just depict the meaning जो वो हमें कन्वे करना चाह रहे हैं, the true meaning of the work we can say. So let me show you the way. So that is why उस पेंटर ने क्या कहा था, डाउ ने क्या कहा था, let me show you the way. मैं आपको वे दिखाता हूँ. A word that means both the path or the method. ये जो वर्ड है इसका मतलब क्या होता है, both the path or the method and the mysterious work of the universe. इसका मतलब है ये. So the painting is gone. जैसे ही वो डोर क्लोज होता है केव का, वो क्लैप करते हैं and the painting gets vanished. So it said that painting is gone, but the artist has reached his goal. But artist जो है वो अपने गोल पे पहुंच चुका है beyond his material appearance. That is beyond the material appearance. उसका ultimately जो गोल था, he has reached there. A classical Chinese landscape is not meant to reproduce an actual view. Okay, so what it is said कि classical Chinese landscape जो है, it is not meant to do what, to reproduce an actual view, as would a Western figurative painting, whereas European painting wants you to borrow the eye and look at a particular landscape exactly as he saw it from a specific angle. Chinese painter does not choose a single viewpoint. His landscape is not a real one. You can enter it from any point. आप किसी भी point से उसमें enter हो जाओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. And travel it the way, imagination on your own way. Artist create कर देता है एक path for your eye to travel up and down and then back again. Complete a leisurely movement as per your wish. This is even more true in the case of a horizontal scroll. एक horizontal scrolls होते हैं जब आप एक part of the painting complete करते हो and you switch on to the second one. तो ये चीजें उस केस में ज्यादा true होती हैं. That when this is even more true in the case of horizontal scroll, in which action of slowly opening one section of the painting, then rolling it up to move on to the other. आप एक सेक्शन देखते हो देन जस्ट रोल इट, तो आप दूसरे सेक्शन पे मूव हो जाते हो. नाउ दिस एड्स अ डायमेंशन ऑफ टाइम व्हिच इज अननोन इन एनी अदर फॉर्म ऑफ पेंटिंग. ये क्या है, इट जस्ट एड्स अ डायमेंशन ऑफ टाइम जो क्या है, अननोन है इन एनी अदर फॉर्म ऑफ पेंटिंग. It also requires the active participation of viewer. Now ये क्या require करता है, the active participation of the viewer who decides at what pace he will travel through the painting. ये decide करता है that at what pace, किस pace पे you are going to travel through the painting. A participation which is physical as well as mental. ये एक उनको वैसा पार्टिसिपेशन चाहिए जिसमें फिजिकली भी द ऑनलुकर इज प्रेजेंट एंड मेंटली ही इज आल्सो प्रेजेंट इन द पेंटिंग. द चाइनीज पेंटर डज नॉट वांट यू टू बोरो हिज आईज, ही वांट्स यू टू एंटर हिज माइंड. वो कह रहा है आप आईज मत बोरो करो, जस्ट एंटर माय माइंड. द लैंडस्केप इज एन इनर वन, बिकॉज लैंडस्केप क्या है, इनर है, एक स्पिरिचुअल थिंग है, एक कॉन्सेप्चुअल स्पेस है. सो यू नीड टू बी मेंटली प्रेजेंट ओवर देयर. यू नीड नॉट want to buy my eyes to look at the painting the way I look. आप अपने तरीके से देखो, but you have to enter my mind, because Chinese paintings जो है it's completely a mind game. It's a conceptual space. It's inner one, it's a spiritual one. Okay, वो ऐसा figurative paintings नहीं है. This concept is expressed as sanctuary, literally mountain, water, which used together represent the world landscape. More than two elements of an image, these represent two complementary poles. Reflecting the Taoist view of the universe, the mountain is yang, reaching vertically towards heaven, stable, warm, dry in the sun, while yin is water, horizontal, resting on earth, fluid, moist and cool. दोनों opposites है. So ये यहाँ पे कह रहे हैं कि sanctuary का literally मतलब होता है mountain, water. When together used, it's called landscape. मोर देन 2 एलिमेंट ऑफ एन इमेज है जिसको आप यहाँ पे रिप्रेजेंट करते हो, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री पोल्स. वन इज यांग दैट इज माउंटेन, वन इज यिन दैट इज वाटर. ठीक है, माउंटेन वी नो वर्टिकली टुवर्ड्स द हेवन, वार्म एंड ड्राई इन द सन. Yin that is water, it's horizontal, resting on the earth, fluid, moist and cool. Interaction जो है yin का, वो receptive है, feminine aspect of universal energy, and the counterpart yang, it's active and masculine in the course of fundamental notion of Taoism. So Taoism basically talks about sanctuary that is yang and yin. So ये जो है ये it can be compared with the yogic practice of the pranayam, breathe in, retain, breathe out. The suspension of breathe in is void where meditation occurs and the middle void is essential. Now you can see आपने कुछ paintings देखे होंगे, आपने उसमें देखा पीछे पहाड़ है और नीचे आपको water दिखता है, but do you think water और पहाड़ just touch होते हैं? नहीं, there is something in between. हम खड़े हैं, हमारे घर है, सब कुछ है ना बीच में, पहाड़ ऊपर आपको सन दिख रहा है, पहाड़ दिख रहे हैं नीचे, बट आप कोई भी पेंटिंग देखना हमेशा पहाड़ और पानी आपको ऐसे टच होते हुए दिखेंगे, बट देयर इज अ प्लेस इन बिटवीन दी बोथ, देयर इज अ हॉलो स्पेस इन बिटवीन दी बोथ जो विजिबल नहीं होती है, बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड इट इज वेरी मीनिंगफुल. सो उस मिडिल प्लेस को, उस एम्प्टी प्लेस को क्या बोला है? मिडिल वॉइड. एंड दिस इज वेरी एसेंशियल. नथिंग कैन हैपन विदाउट दिस. इस मिडिल वॉइड के बिना कुछ भी पॉसिबल नहीं है. Hence जो importance है ना इस white unpainted space in the Chinese landscape, that is really very important. This is also where man finds a fundamental role. यही वो place है जहाँ पे man को actually fundamental role चाहिए. And in that space between heaven and earth, he becomes the conduit of communication between both poles of the universe. And in that space between the heaven and earth, वही है जो बन जाता है क्या? A meaning, a mode of communication we can say. एक communication का वो mode बन जाता है of the conduct of the communication between both the poles, that is heaven and the earth, two poles of the universe. The presence of this middle voice is very essential, even if it's only suggested far from being lost or oppressed by the lofty peaks. He is in the Francois Cheng's wonderful expression, the eye of a landscape. तो इसको आप देख सकते हो, in the eye of a landscape, it's by Francois Cheng. ये उनका एक wonderful expression है, the eye of a landscape. So this is all we can say the landscape. So the middle void, which is actually not visible to us between the heaven and the earth, ये जो एक hollow space है, it's known as middle void. And this is very important because it is the mode of communion, that is communication between both the poles of the universe, that is earth and the heaven. So it's a beautiful contrast of two art parts, that is European and the Chinese. Okay, so understood? Yeah, this was an excerpt from Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese Painting. It's slightly edited and given to you in the wonderful form, and that I hope you studied and you enjoyed it. Okay, so this is all we can say for the class today. Okay, so now we'll be meeting in our next class. Till then, just take care of yourself and go through the chapter well.